Auto insurance fraud is rising in America, and it could be due to the economy and more layoffs. Today, I read an interesting article on foxbusiness.com written by Daniela Genovese, titled, Auto Insurance Fraud on the Rise in U.S. Staged Accidents More Brazen Than Before. The author referenced the Insurance Information Institute, who analyzed data from 2022 and 2023, which showed a 14% increase in staged accidents on an annual basis in New York and a 58% spike in New Jersey. California recorded the highest volume of staged accidents in 2023, with 5,366 cases, followed by New York with 1,729 cases, and Florida with 1,110 cases. Here are my thoughts. I'm not surprised to hear about this. As life in the real economy becomes more difficult, some people get desperate. Some may be looking for a lottery ticket in the form of an insurance check. Insurance companies often pay well. Insurance fraud is serious crime, though. People must be really stupid or really desperate. When I read this article, it reminded me of a story I read in 2015 about a guy who crashed a Bugatti into a lake. He claimed he saw a low-flying pelican and steered right into the water to avoid hitting it. Unfortunately for him, there was video footage and no pelican was in the road. He faced up to 20 years in federal prison, but ultimately he was sentenced to 1 year. He also had to pay the insurance company $600,000. This should be a cautionary tale to anyone thinking about this kind of thing. Getting back to the article, the author said, staged accidents cost every U.S. driver $100 to $300 more in annual auto insurance premiums. Well, my friends, this should frustrate you. No one should be paying more for auto insurance because of criminals. It's really unfortunate. Most Americans have seen their car insurance rates rise in the past year or two. I know I have. Fortunately, I have an old car, and the rate increase was minimal compared to most people. I really feel bad for people with expensive vehicles. I'm sure they are feeling some pain right now. Here's some more bad news. I read this today on yahoo.com, put out by Jalopnik, and written by Owen Bellwood, titled, Volkswagen to close plants and lay off thousands of workers to save itself. According to the author, Volkswagen has been through the ringer recently, with the company facing falling profits and struggling sales as it tries to pivot to electric cars around the world. For weeks, the automaker has been looking for a solution to its money troubles and now appears to have found a way to cut costs, lay off staff, and shut factories. The author went on to say, the car maker has an excess of around 50,000 cars, which is about the output of 2 factories. Well, my friends, I hate to hear about Volkswagen laying off thousands of workers. This is horrible news so close to the holidays. My heart goes out to these people and their families. We have certainly heard about a lot of layoffs this past year. Things aren't great in the real economy, even though the stock market continues to rally. I've never owned a Volkswagen, but a friend of mine had one. He had a lot of mechanical problems with it. It was a great-looking vehicle, and it rode nice, but it wasn't very reliable. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, VW has a couple of key issues. Number 1, lack of reliability. Number 2, competition. Other manufacturers like Toyota or Honda are capable of building cars that meet customers' needs better. Volkswagen's solution is to lay off workers who just build poorly designed cars. Instead, they should lay off all upper management, including product planners, if they want to save VW. The next commenter said, they went the way of U.S. car manufacturers, build them as cheap as possible, and have lots of problems due to poor quality parts and recalls. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, notice how auto industries around the world are having serious problems, with the exception of China. I'm going to chime in about that last comment. I think automakers around the world need to watch out. Companies like Xiaomi produce some amazing phones. Now they are into cars. If they innovate at the same pace as they have with their phones, other automakers could be in trouble. A lot will depend on what happens with tariffs moving forward. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Here's another interesting story. I read this today on Yahoo Finance, put out by Benzinga and written by Ivy Grace, titled, Gen Xers, America's Forgotten Middle Child, are the experiment generation for 401ks, but experts say results are gloomy. The author of this article said, Generation X is the first generation to primarily rely on 401k plans rather than traditional pensions. The author went on to say, 45% of Gen Xers fall short on their retirement savings goals. Here are my thoughts. Some of these people may inherit wealth and be okay. Others probably made sacrifices in life to save for retirement, and they will be okay. Then, there are people who are going to be left in a terrible situation. I think we are all going to see some very depressing things in the decades to come. Getting back to the article, the author referenced Fidelity Investments as saying, the average 401k balance for Generation X is around $178,500, which is far from the $1.5 million that financial experts estimate is necessary to comfortably retire today. I'm going to stop here for a moment. Have any of you noticed in the past year or so, the magic retirement number in most of these types of articles has jumped from $1 million to $1.5 million. Unfortunately, many Americans won't ever have that amount of money by the time they reach retirement age. Some will never have that amount of money. Getting back to the article, the author said the numbers are more concerning for members of Generation X who are in their late 50s. They have only saved $88,000 for retirement. Here are my thoughts. In this article, the author reported the average amount saved in both instances. Unfortunately, the average is often thrown off by the extremes. This means the median amount of money saved is likely a lot worse. I'm afraid we are going to see a lot of older people struggling here in America in the future. For some, it is too late. For others, they are probably panicking and doing their best to figure out a plan. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, I am a boomer and have had a 401k for 30 years. Better than a pension, as it is real money and can be passed on to heirs. The next commenter said, couldn't afford to put anything into savings until I divorced and moved to a different state for a better job opportunity. Now I have over $1 million in a 401k and will retire early in 9 years at age 58 and live the wonderful life in Southeast Asia. I'm going to chime in about that comment. I've seen several people here on the channel comment about moving to Southeast Asia. I've never been there. If you are watching this video right now and you live in Southeast Asia, it would be interesting to hear about what life is like there. Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.